back to LRM, and we are starting the new sidecar series of restoring it to a proper nice show quality. Today we're going to be inspecting the frame, we're going to be priming, painting and doing any repairs that are needed, and hopefully get the frame to a point where it's ready for the body to be put back on once we have completed that. The only thing that we won't be touching on today will be the wheel, because the wheel we're going to inspect it and make sure it doesn't need rebuilding. I'm pretty sure it doesn't need rebuilding. All the spokes are nice, the rim's nice, you know, it's got a little bit of surface rust, but it's not corroded or rusty. And even the tyre's still got air in it, but it does need a nice polish up and a repaint, but we'll get to that next time. So we'll go across the frame now and inspect it and make sure it's all ready for our next stage. So here we are looking at the bottom of the sidecar frame. As you can see, there is a lot of surface rust. It's mostly still paint, which is good, which has protected it. Where it was sat for nearly 30 years was quite dry, so we're quite good with that. But in inspecting the frame, we found that it's got a few patches that have obviously been welded previously where it's had rust repair. There's one on the underside here. But unfortunately, we are now looking at a bit more of a job to do, is on this corner here. As you can see, there is quite a hole in the frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to polish it up, get some new metal in there, weld it on and make sure it's nice and sturdy, because that point there is where the wheel hub mounts to, which is quite a problem if it's rusty, because if it snaps you're going to be in a whole lot of bother. So I'll now get on the safety gear, which is minimalist at most, and we'll deal with it and then reconvene. So as you can see, we've ground away the area to get some clean metal, because when you're welding you want some clean metal. If you've got any kind of porosity, paint, rust, anything like that, it's going to cause a crap weld. Crap weld, might as well not have done it in the first place, because it'll just crack off and fall off. So we can't get in very well with the grinder. We're going to get a file out, we'll probably do a little bit better trying to get most of the dirt out of there. But we're going to cut a bit of steel now out of this nice bit of plate. It's pretty much the same thickness as the tube that we're using. Go across the welder, get welded up, and yes, we'll see you then. So we've cleaned up the area a bit better, exposing the hole, just got rid of all the flimsy metal and tried to get a nice surface to weld to. We've cut out a bit of steel here, obviously needs polishing off, but we've kind of formed it to like the similar radius to the actual pipe. So we can fit that in there. It's going to overlap all the gaps quite a bit, because when you want to do it, you don't just want to be patching the hole, you want to create more of a structure from the hole, because obviously it's got a weakness within the frame. So you're making it a little bit bigger than the hole, so you've got nice metal to weld to all the way around. Does need a little bit more cleaning up just for the edges, and obviously this needs completely cleaning up as well. So once we clean it up a bit more, clean this up, we'll tack it in place and then reconvene. So we've welded it, we've put the patch in, it's actually gone pretty well. I was pretty surprised how well it went. We didn't get a lot of porosity, we've got a little bit of porosity we had to grind back out, but that patch is now in, so let it cool. With the heat you put into a weld, it very varies about what you need to cool down for. For that, I would probably give it another 2 hours, just to cool down completely, because you're only putting paint on it, you don't want to be touching it, because it will be hot. Because when you think about welding, welding is my trade, I am a welder by trade. The welding arc is probably like 5 times the temperature of the sun, of the surface of the sun. It is incredibly hot, and the residual heat will still be there for quite a while. So just a little bit of health and safety about welding. I had my gloves, had my helmet on, and long sleeves to make sure you don't get sparks. Also, whenever you're going against heat, if you're going to test it, never put your hand out, palm out. If you touch on your palm, the instant thing to do is to grab. It's the same thing with electricity. Always want to put your back of your hand, you feel the heat on the back of your hand, so even if you touch it and burn yourself, you're not going to cause yourself a bit more of pain. So when it's cooled down, we'll get back to the point where we were before of priming and painting. So guys, here it is a picture just to follow about the priming stage, but we kind of got ahead of ourselves and decided to get the Hammerite out and give it a full paint. And it is looking rather decent. I am quite happy where it's come out. The patch is looking alright. Clean that up and that's now looking fine. So can't be wrong. I'm liking it. Really liking it. So once this is dry, flip it over, just do the little bits underneath. And that is the chassis pretty much done as the bare chassis. Coming across to the bench here, we have a few of the smaller parts, like this is the bracket that actually mounts the wheel onto the frame, where we had to do the patch. This is the back of the brake and the back of the hub. I've got these sandblasted, got them all looking nice. A few of the clamps and bits and pieces doing. And this is like the wish arm bone, I'm assuming where the shock mounts to. I think it's sprung, so that's maybe something like that. Little bits of the clamps all sorted. This is the sander ready to sand the inside of the frame of this. But first off, just wanted to discuss about what we're going to be doing on the inside of here. Going to be sanding back all the wood. I'm going to be putting insulation, just like the thin, like the insulation you get in vans, and putting wood paneling on it, panel it all out. Just make it a bit nicer for when I'm staying in it. And then stain everything, stain all the wood. Got a nice stainer to stain it all. I think it'll look really nice. And then fit out the inside and stuff like that, so it can seal that off. And it'll be sick. I can't wait to do the inside of this. But first, probably, is when I have to look at. Oops, is the outside. And the door sagged a little bit as well. So doing the paint job, you can obviously see it sags there, but doing the paint job, we'll do a trace out of all these, get it all nicely painted up. It's going to look very nice. But that's pretty much all it needs really doing to the sidecar, is just painting really. There's not really much to do. Have to figure out the fittings to put the mudguard back on and stuff like that, but okay, so just reassembling it. And I do have all the fittings to connect the sidecar to the motorcycle. They're on my other sidecar, but I'm pulling that one apart quite soon, which you'll also see a video on, because that bike needs a lot of work. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So this is the first part of the video done. Cracking on, getting things done. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly have. We've had a right nice day, me and my mate Panda. Having a laugh. Weather's turned a bit wrong now, but well. So I hope you enjoy, subscribe and like this video down below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.